welcome back to the Dune Minute Podcast, your place to dive deep, minute by minute, into the cinematic adaptation of Frank Herbert's world of Dune. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Zach.
And I'm John.
And I think the content of this episode is going to be shorter than the intro.
Not true.
No, it's not true. But
it's damn close. But not true.
We, of course, are talking about minute 123 through 124.
Yep.
The infamous 123 through 124 of 2021 Dune by Denis Villeneuve.
Part one.
Yeah. Everyone knows that minute. Do we even have to do this? Everyone knows that minute. You can pick up any person on the street and they'll know that minute. They teach this in schools, John. Well, even so, if you don't know, if we're speaking to the 1% who do not know this minute, let's get into it. Let's go through it.
I was gonna say, when is this bit gonna end? Holy shit. Okay, yeah. So yesterday, Paul has wrestled control of the ornithopter, and they're just kind of peacefully gliding. We have nice little peaceful ethereal music going on with a little swell of strings. And then all that stops.
Yep.
Because the top port swing, top port wing, that's the left wing. I only remember port and starboard because port and left both have 4 letters in their words.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Yeah. That's the only way that I remember that.
Fair enough. Whatever gets you there.
Yep. Top port wing snaps off, and there's almost a Looney Tunes-esque moment of Paul looking up and being like, huh? And then they just begin barrel roll diving towards the ground.
Yeah. It's definitely like a Wile E. Coyote just run off the cliff, and he's standing there.
Huh?
For sure.
Yeah. Paul and Jessica are in a barrel roll dive towards the surface, and the ornithopter, Paul's pulling back on the flight stick as much as he can to try and smooth it out. But the ornithopter crashes into the ground and slides for a whole 9 seconds. I counted it. A whole 9 seconds until it finally hits a bump and stops.
So before they hit the ground, he does retract the other wing. He folds it back, just like, it's not doing anything, whatever. Yeah. Might as well just be in that uncontrolled dive or spin motion. And when they hit the ground and when they eventually do start sliding, they're sideways. So their belly landing did not come to fruition.
Nope.
Their barrel rollingness prevented that.
Yep.
And they're
somehow managed to land completely uninjured.
Good harnesses.
Yep. One thing that I did want to talk about, and I'm sure you noticed this, but just how absolutely fucking beat up that front windshield was. Yeah.
Surprised it didn't shatter.
Covered in deep gouges and shit. And it makes me wonder, right? Because you hear about stuff being picked up by tornadoes and hurricanes and flung across, super far distances. I saw this thing where there was a whale that was found in the middle of the jungle of Brazil because of a hurricane that just
crazy.
Picked it up. Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
So if a hurricane's capable of doing that, how much shit do you think these Coriolis storms are capable of picking up and just throwing around?
Oh, I mean, you saw how it was tossing this ornithopter around like it was nothing.
Yeah. Get that count.
Yeah, exactly. They say in the book a few times that, the storms can cut through metal.
Yeah.
Like butter, they say.
Yep.
And then it says it can etch the flesh from bones and then turn the bone into dust.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So these things are powerful. This is a lot of stuff going on here.
Yeah.
As soon as they hit the ground, they waste 0 time.
Yeah. Just immediately, Paul undoes his harness, pushes the door, what would have been Jessica's door, open, and he begins climbing out. And, Paul has been out in the deep desert and has seen Shai-Hulud firsthand. I don't think Jessica has ever seen Shai-Hulud. She obviously knows about worms and what they're capable of doing, because that just kind of seems like common knowledge, or at least something the Bene Gesserit would know.
Yeah.
Right. But Paul knows just how terrifying coming into contact with Shai-Hulud can be.
Yeah.
So his ass is out of that ornithopter, because I'm sure that made a very loud thud under the sand.
Absolutely. Yeah, they know that they got to get to.
It wasn't rhythmic, but damn, was it loud. So,
well, they know they just got to get out of that situation onto the rocks.
Yeah,
as quick as possible.
Yep.
And our minute ends with them
just kind of running away,
booking it.
Yeah. The last 10 seconds of this minute is them literally, running through the sands and reaching the top of a smaller dune nearby.
Again, running through the sand almost effortlessly. Very strong legs on these folks.
I wish I could do that.
So I didn't talk much about the book yesterday.
Yeah. You didn't talk at all about the book yesterday.
That's true. The chapter that this scene is taking place in, fortunately, is following the movie's following the book very closely.
Yeah.
The only thing it leaves out is there's obviously a lot more internal dialogue that goes on, internal monologue, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul is, quoting various litanies, a litany of litanies. And, passages from the OC Bible.
Shout out the OCB.
Yep. And he's the same kind of damage to the ornithopter. It exists in the book. So as they're coming in for the landing, the wing gets ripped off and they freak out, and it causes them to have to do that belly landing that we talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
They were successful in the books, actually, is doing this. And it's described, which is kind of cool. This would have been cool to see, but what Paul does is he takes them down, and he has enough control that he can level them out and do somewhat control their direction and their descent. So he causes the ornithopter to skip over the top of sand dunes to slow them down.
Yeah.
So he uses just the top. So just the belly hits one and then flies over a valley, then hits another one.
That's the ultimate version of dudes just skipping stones across lakes.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip myself across the sand dunes.
So I don't know. It was really cool. And when Jessica figures out what he's doing, what his plan is, the book makes a note to say she is very impressed with him.
Mom, watch this.
Yeah. And then we pick back up in the book. She says, Paul goes, run for those rocks. The instant we stopped. And Jessica's run for. Then it clicks. Oh, worms.
Yeah.
So, she's not used to this.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm trying to remember if we determined the time frame between when Paul. I mean, I guess it was the night after they went out to the deep desert, or the night of that day when they went out to the deep desert, that the Harkonnen attack happened on Arakeen.
I think so, yeah.
Because UA did his thing to address, what was going on with Paul.
Yeah. Give him his allergy report.
Yeah. His not allergy report. And then gave him the night pills. So it's still very fresh in Paul's head. It's been a day or two?
Yeah.
Since he last saw Shai-Hulud.
Yep.
Depending on how the movie portrays it versus the book, but it's still very in his head and very, very front of mind that being out here in the desert is not good.
Yeah. We don't really know how long they spent in the tent. I think we assumed one night.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to really say how much time passed there.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say one night. So yeah, I think he's 2 or 3 days away from that experience is absolutely correct.
I think the worst part about it too is that they don't know where they are out in the desert.
Yeah.
They're just entirely lost. So
that storm threw them wherever.
Shit out of luck.
Yeah. It threw them wherever it wanted.
Yeah.
So they could be way, way, way in the deep desert, which they are.
At least Kynes was smart enough to make sure that they had still suits.
Yep.
Given to them before they left. So
that's right. And we will get to see those still suits be put into action tomorrow.
Yep.
So let's come back and do this, round out the week.
Look at us setting up segues.
Look at that.
Hey.
Like we've been doing this for 124 episodes.
Jesus Christ. That's crazy. All right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow with another episode of the Dune Minute podcast. You can find us on Instagram at the Dune Minute. We are on Twitter at Dune Minute, and you can email duneminute@gmail.com if you'd like to get in touch with us. Otherwise, we'll be back to close out another week of the Dune Minute podcast. We'll catch you later.
See ya.